Hi friends, it's Brittany at Ink and Papyrus. Grab those clear windowed envelopes. We have some shaker envelopes and belly bands to make. My favorite. And do go grab some of your shimmery pretty things. It is on like Donkey Kong. Listen, if you don't have any of these, may I suggest you get some? But if you're a weirdo and don't just have random piles of glitter laying around, don't let that stop you. There are a couple other things we can use. Go to your kitchen, pull out those sprinkles. That will work. And I know you have a pile of paper punches. Go through your paper punch stash, find some small paper punches just like this, and punch some little punches out. And that also makes great confetti that we can put in our shaker envelopes. Today, we will be creating some shaker cards and belly bands for this gorgeous journal I'm working on. I will link the tutorial for the cover above and in the description box. However, if you don't want to do Valentine theme shakers, that's fine. Hopefully, this tutorial will still give you some good ideas and inspiration, and you can theme them however you would like to theme them. Have you ever seen tissue paper that is so gorgeous? I haven't either. This came out of a family member's house, and I have a feeling this is like really, really old because it is thick and meaty, and it doesn't feel like the tissue paper they make today. Let's face it. So I didn't want to use up a whole lot, but today we're going to be brave. We're going to use our pretties, and we are going to put them to work. So for this, I think I'm going to make a rose theme belly band to put in my journal. If you are looking to make a belly band shaker, you want, instead of a short, kind of stubby, wide envelope, you want a long, tall, skinny envelope. And let me show you what I do. So I'm going to cut this here. Just so this is even. This is a little bit squirrely, this edge here. Okay. I don't want to cut too much off. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, we are going to cut the envelope here and here so it opens up like a booklet. Because envelopes, when you're doing this, it is so much easier to work with it if you can open it up. So that's what I'm going to do. We're just going to make some small little cuts so that you can open this up easily like a booklet. Okay, and you're gonna love this, and you're never gonna throw away junk mail ever again. You're gonna be so excited when that spam shows up at your house. Okay, fantastic. So we cut on this side, the top, and the bottom so that it opens just like this. Okay, fantastic. So for me, the first thing I like to do is choose what is going in the window. Usually it's going to be some fabric, some paper, okay, and we're going to measure it out and we're going to glue it straight on here so we don't have to worry about glue seeping around into this plastic part. So for this, I think a book page backed or backing a dried flower would be gorgeous. I like this book page just because I think it'll give a nice contrast to the pink flower. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this all to size. My scissors are escaping me. It's okay. You don't need to be precise because remember, this is going to be totally covered up. Just make sure that you're covering this envelope, or the shaker, what will be the shaker window, okay? Okay, so we've created a piece of paper that will fit this entire window. So again, we are going to glue the paper, whatever you're using as your background, to this side of the envelope. And as I said earlier, it's because I find that if you glue it directly to this, I don't know, the glue seems to leach out. Maybe that's because I use this white glue. You might have better luck with silicone glue, but I hate it when my window gets like totally mucked up with glue. So you don't have to be super heavy-handed either. It's not going to go anywhere. Okay. And just make sure that you've covered wherever the window will sit. Okay. Now, you could try and glue this down. Sewing would probably be your best bet. For the sake of this video, I think I'm going to put a piece of washi tape over this. I think this is pretty. I'm going to take my deckled scissors. And we definitely want to make sure we have plenty of glue down, just to make sure this washi holds. Never trust washi. Telling you, it'll always let you down. But not reinforced by glue. Washi is good for many things if you use it properly. Okay, let's get it in there, make sure it's seated well, where it will lay as flat as possible. Perfect. Get on there. Yes. All right. Oh, I'm loving that. That is going to be beautiful. Okay. Okay, friends, let's get this gorgeous tissue paper on here. Grab yourself some Mod Podge or whatever little mixture you have crafted. Okay, I know there's some writing on the envelope here, and this tissue paper isn't going to cover it entirely. I'm okay with that, honestly, because I like, there are still hints of this being an altered envelope, so I don't mind that at all. If you do, you can coat this with some gesso first, maybe, being careful to avoid the window. You could put down a couple pieces of or strips of paper to cover this, whatever you would like to do, or after we put the tissue paper on, we could cover it with some other things. Before I Mod Podge this, I am just going to put on a little bit of glue, little glue stick, and we're gonna get it exactly where we want it. Okay, these corners, these rounded corners can be the bane of one's existence. That's okay. I understand we're not going to be able to shape the tissue paper necessarily or collage around them like we may want to. I usually use trim for that reason, to even out those edges, and just because I think it's kind of easier to get a good even look around that window there. Okay, so usually I just do one section at a time. It may seem like this is the slower way, but I don't think so. I think it's just kind of easier to control how this gets laid down. Okay. So I hope you guys are doing well today. I hope your crafting is coming along. Drop in the comments below what projects you're working on. Are you working on Valentine's Day stuff? Are you working on just random all throughout the year stuff? Are you doing any projects in particular? Do you have any New Year's resolutions for your crafting you'd like to share? I love hearing from you guys, and you guys really inspire me. So please drop a comment below. Tell me what you're up to. So you can collage these. I'm collaging with tissue paper today, but I love collaging with random dyed papers, book pages. Sometimes if there isn't a whole lot of print on the envelope itself, I will just go ahead and stencil or stamp on the cover. Fabric altered envelopes are awesome. Just use your imagination. There's plenty that you can do with these. Okay, I have another just little gap to fill here. So I'm just gonna cut myself a little piece. So this is why I say don't worry about taking care of those rounded edges. Those can be infuriating. It's okay. We're going to put some trim around them. You could put lace around here. You could put strips of fabric or other paper that nicely contrasts whatever you've put down. So it's okay. Don't worry about those rounded edges. Okay, I think we're even Stevens. We're pretty close to it. So I'm going to break out that Mod Podge. Again, you don't have to use Mod Podge. I would recommend it though, especially if you're using tissue paper. I don't know. Unless you've done a really good job gluing it down or are planning to sew over it, Mod Podge is probably a good idea. I'm using the Paper Matte Mod Podge. You really can't go wrong with this, guys, aside from obviously staying away from that darn window, like I had said earlier. Okay, this is probably not a proper Mod Podge brush, but I was doing some watercolor stuff earlier and I happen to have this out in front of me. So that's what we're using. I have some wrinkles in there. I'm okay with that. Again, you can see the postage emblem there. You can kind of see the city and state this packet or this envelope came from. I'm fine with that. You can totally disguise this if it bothers you. I'm just getting out the big wrinkles. It probably would have been smart actually to do this before we glued down. It wouldn't matter if you're only gluing down paper inside for the window portion. However, when you're utilizing something bulky like a dried flower, it makes it harder to Mod Podge this and get the wrinkles out. In hindsight, I probably would have done this last. Okay, when this dries, I am going to sew around this. So I'm gonna get rid of this Mod Podge. I have a couple options for trim. Let's see. I have some of this pretty lace, which is gorgeous. I have, some of these beautiful hearts. This heart applique. Don't ask me where I got this. I have no idea. I think probably on AliExpress. Oh, wow. There isn't a whole lot of contrast there, but that's beautiful. We could do some red. Interesting. Not in love with that. And I have this purple or this pink applique. that just really works for me. I was not going to that first because this is so the obvious choice, but heck, it's gorgeous. Okay, so again, we're just going to make a very thin bead of, or line of glue around the windowed envelope, really trying to avoid getting it on the window itself. Okay, you want to be pretty precise about your trimming here because we want to line these up. Oops. Okay, and all of a sudden the rounded edges kind of, I mean, we haven't covered up the edges. You can try and get in there as close as possible, especially if you're sewing and you don't have to worry about glue seeping out. But I think just outlining it really kind of just, I mean, if you look closely you can see that they're rounded, but I think once you kind of frame it in a square shape, those rounded edges, they just kind of, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of like a Jedi mind trick, but that's just me. You guys are probably like, oh my god, those rounded edges and it's a square frame. Blasphemy. No. I think it's pretty cool looking. Okay. Just gonna measure this out. Not really measuring, we're just approximating. We might need some more gluage. This ribbon is misbehaving. Okay. Let's get that back. You get back in there. So even if you're not doing romantic Valentine's Day crafting, why aren't you? No, I'm just kidding. Even if you're not, I hope this gives you some ideas and inspiration. You can obviously make these any theme that you want. Spruce some envelopes up any way you would like. Okay, I love this. Okay, I kind of did a bad job of framing this. I'm not gonna lie. It is subpar, however, I think it's pretty beautiful. So a couple of things we can do. Maybe I'll put a little, try and disguise that a little better. Make it look like we made it around town. Come on, glue. Okay, I think that looks better, and it will look better as it dries. Okay, what we want, assuming you have already covered the inside, we have two options. We can either sew in a U-shaped pattern, okay, or we can glue in the same pattern, okay? What you don't want to do is do anything to this upper part of the envelope. Leave that alone. You want to keep that open so that we can put the shaker components, whether it be confetti, sprinkles, glitter, what have you. I'm going to go ahead and sew, just like we talked about, right along the envelope. Very important. If you decide to glue this, that is totally fine. Make sure you leave the top open and do not put anything in here until the glue dries. I have been impatient before and just wanted to get stuff in and see how pretty it looked. Don't do that. You'll ruin it because you'll get all these glue beads. The confetti will stick to the sides. There won't be any in the window and you'll be so sad. And voila! Idea, guys. If you don't like this little faux postage mark that's sticking out, which like I said, I don't mind, especially for a Valentine themed journal, I think a doily here would look spectacular. If you have a light colored tissue paper like mine, then you may want to come in with a dauber and take your color of choice. I had Kitsch Flamingo right here. Okay, you may want to take that doily, take that dauber, and just ink up that doily. Give it a nice pink sheen. Is that a word? Sheen. And you could cover up those little bits. I love this. I think I'm just gonna leave it as is, but that's another idea if you're worried about how things are looking and there's some things peeking out you don't want to peek out, then, you know, ink it up a little bit, put something over it, cover it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, notice I did not, okay, I love sewing around windows. Do not do that until you got your confetti in, right? Because now you've just sewed the top and then you'll be so sad. There will be no shaking in your shaker envelope, which would be a real crying shame if you ask me. So back to our shaking. What should we use? We have so many options. Okay, it's kind of muted with the book page. We already have some bright pink themes going on here. Why don't we put some of this white? Now remember, I just sewed this, okay? If you just glued this, wait until it's dry. And honestly, the best thing to do is just, after you finish gluing it, just wait until tomorrow morning. I know, it feels like so long to wait, but just go on to another project and wait until the morning. Okay, I'm gonna put in some of this white sequin. Okay, I know some of it's gonna get caught up on the flower, that's okay. Oh, I have some pink glitter here. Okay, this is Recollections Chunky Glitter. This is, I think, Recollections again. I took the label off. Something sequins. I have some Recollections Pastel Hearts and more chunky glitter in Cherry. Really, like I said, you can use anything. Take out, I had a little punch, but oh, this like little heart punch. This would make the cutest confetti. And you know what? We'll punch out a couple of those and put some in here too. Okay. And remember, a lot of it's going to go to the bottom, so even if it seems over glitterified, it is okay. There's no such thing. Just put however much glitter in here as you want. And bonus, if you have a couple of things that stick, so it's constant glitter action all the time. All right. Maybe I'll put, no. Maybe some red, maybe a little bit of red. Not too much, just a little bit. Spice things up a little bit. Whew, that was more than a little bit. Goodness gracious. Eesh. All right, there are no mistakes. We'll just keep crafting on. That was a little bit more than I intended, but you know what? It's okay. Okay, all right. I think we have more than enough glitter in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew the top shut again. If you're gluing, that's fine. Just once you put a small bead of glue here, right along the top, squeeze it, lay it flat. Do not put your bead of glue in, seal this, and then start shaking it up, because all that glitter is just gonna stick to the top and it'll be so sad. Trust me, I have made this mistake more times than I would like to admit. Okay guys, I'm closing the window first and I'm just going in with a straight stitch, putting the foot down. I am no expert seamstress, so don't judge. And now for the finishing touches, we are going to sew up the top. Let's put this back on 16. We're gonna lengthen our stitch a little bit so it makes the paper less likely to perforate. Okay, friends, what do you think? We have a shaker belly band. And actually, I kind of forgot I was going to use this as a belly band, or else I wouldn't have wasted this beautiful tissue paper on the back. So, you know what? Maybe I'm going to make this a removable, and instead of gluing the back to the paper, I am going to clip this in. And that way the back isn't going to be completely hidden. Okay, let's get going on our second envelope. Again, we are going to get this a straight edge. And then, oops. We are going to cut the top and the bottom so we can open it up just like a booklet. Guys, I found this this fashion pattern that I absolutely love. So I'm thinking of doing a like sewing pattern slash fashion envelope. So I'm just going to cut some of the sewing pattern and we are going to start collaging this on. And actually I'm going to start by measuring. Yeah, we should have plenty to cover this side. So I think I'm just going to collage some sewing pattern on where our fabric will not cover. I don't know if I showed you guys this trick before, but my favorite way to get this sewing pattern off, instead of cutting it with scissors, which is can be very laborious, I love just taking the sanding block and trimming it down that way. We don't need to do any cutting, we'll just fold it over. Okay, and this is our envelope, by the way. After I cut it, we can open it just like a booklet. Okay, we don't have to worry about folding it over and closing the booklet because it opens this way. There's so many cool things that you can do on sewing pattern. I absolutely love the way stamping looks on sewing pattern, for example. So many cool things you can do with this. You can also sew this. You can Mod Podge it. I don't know if you noticed the last envelope we did. The only thing that I don't totally dig about this is I definitely got some wrinkles when I was Mod Podging this. Now I didn't have these wrinkles after I put down the Mod Podge, but when it buckled a bit when I went to sew it, and I tried to flatten it as it went through the sewing machine, and it wasn't working. I think the other part of that is having the flowers in the window, so anything raised is gonna make it so you can't totally even this out. Overall, I really like this, but just a couple of things to think about. Remember to try and avoid that window. Beautiful. Need to go a little further down. Okay, oh, I love this. Love. Okay, now, let's decide what we're gonna put in our envelope. So how about this pretty fashionista here? It only seems right? We're making a fashion-related envelope. Let's put a fashionista in there. I was thinking about using this paper. I want her to be the star of the show. Yeah, let's do that. I'm just gonna rip where the envelope ends, or where the window ends. Okay, so, oh, I love it. Beautiful. So I definitely want to pick a trim that will allow her to shine. Thinking this pretty lace might be nice. I don't know that I have enough to go around though. I also have this pink lace. And those hearts I was showing you. What if I did two kinds of trim? What if we used this for down here and up here, and then the hearts for the sides? I think that might look really nice. Let's do that. Aren't these so much fun to make? There's so many possibilities. So many really cool things you can do with these. Perfect. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, guys, this is really coming together nice. I'm gonna grab some stamps. I think some stamping would look amazing on the sewing pattern. So I found this rose stamp and this text stamp. You can't really make out what it is, but I think the two of them look fantastic. So I'm gonna take the rose stamp. We're gonna use aged mahogany. Just do some random stamping here. Beautiful. Do a little stamping off the page. Okay, beautiful. So you want to decide, you know, if you're going to glue this to a page or if you want it to be removable. We may do a little bit more decorating on the back. For this one, I think I might glue this to a page. So I'm not sure. I'll do a little stamping on the back in case I end up making it a removable. I'm not sure yet. I don't know what its purpose is going to be. So we will just decorate the whole darn thing. This is black soot. Whoop. Hate when it does that. Literally jumped off the page. Okay. Okay. So I love it. Sometimes I like just when the words blur a little bit. So we're just gonna spritz it with some water and do some light stamping. Okay. Beautiful. Wow, I love just a little spritz of water can really liven up the ink pad. Amazing. Okay. Just gonna stamp off a little bit. Oops. Oh my gosh, things are getting crazy over here. Can you hear? Sorry. Okay. Fantastic. So I was looking at this, and I don't like to waste a good inked up stamp. So I'm just gonna I have these little cards left over from those retro Valentines we made, and I'm just gonna get some more water on there and just do some stamping quick so I don't waste this beautiful inked up stamp pad. Oh, gorgeous. So don't mind me. We're just mopping it up. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Feeling good about that. I loved having pre-stamped ephemera and fabric. It just makes life so much easier. You have all these pre-stamped pieces that are ready to go and just liven up a page. In fact, I did a whole video about it, and I will include the link above and in the description box if you're interested. Okay, I was looking at this and thought, my gosh, this really needs a stamp. So I have some faux stamps laying around here that I thought might be perfect. It doesn't have to be a stamp. We could take a beautiful image and just get deckled edge scissors and make it look like a stamp. That's a contender. I have these retro whimsical stamps, but I don't know that it kind of fits the theme. We could get a word in there. Look at all this Valentine stuff I fussy cut. So relaxing. I normally, I don't know, avoid fussy cutting like the plague. But, you know, I was just kind of in the mood and had all this really cute stuff. These cute digitals laying around and thought, well, my gosh, let's get to it. Oh, look at this bow. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, it's not really the right color. We could tie it in. We'll find it. I know you are lurking in here somewhere. The perfect addition to this journal envelope. I'm looking for something kind of fashion related, lace-ish, ephemera, I don't know. Something fabulous. There's a lot of red in there. I don't know if the pink works, but oh yeah. And that contrasts beautifully up against that sewn fabric. And I have some lace right here. Let's back it with some lace. My gosh, yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Let's make it happen, guys. Gorgeous, yes. Perfect, okay. You don't have to. I'm just gonna ink it up a little bit. I think it'll make it pop against that lace we have there. I hope you guys are having fun. I love making these, if I haven't said that already. If you're still with me at this point, thank you. Beautiful. Gorgeous. Oh, look at that fashionista. I think we've done her proud. Okay, I don't know how to, it's a fashion theme one. I have to sew this. Okay, I'm gonna wait. This is like awfully gluey to sew. And I've already put my printer through. We've been through some rough times together, let me tell you. Did I say printer? I meant sewing machine, I'm sorry. Okay, just thinking. Okay, I am going to wait a second for that glue to dry and get some sewing around here. We are back. I love this not zigzag stitching, I don't know. The that's the official name, the wave. Okay, I love that stitch. We're trimming our thread, and for the most exciting part, we are ready to put some of that awesome glittery stuff inside. I think I want to use, I have these pastel hearts. I don't think I've ever used them. I'll put these in here. That's a lot of pastel hearts. Okay. And maybe some purple. Because, yeah, like purple and red to go with the fabric theme. Okay. Love it. I'm going to sew this up. Gorgeous, right? Ah, these are so pretty. I love these. Just goes to show you how something so simple can be so beautiful. Pull this other one out. Gorgeous as well. So we have our shaker envelopes. This is the tissue paper collaged envelope with a window backed with book page and a dried flower and glitter chunks and sequins in between with the frame sewn around. By the way, guys, if you sew around the frame, make sure before you go to sew the frame, you tilt your envelope over so that the glitter is within the shaker, and then sew. Then we have our beautiful sewing pattern collaged with fabric, framed window envelope, stamped, and again sewn around. Guys, these are absolutely beautiful. I love making these with you. I hope you're making some of your own. These are so much fun. Drop me a comment below and let me know what you think of this tutorial. Let me know some of the other things I love to use these windowed envelopes for, besides belly bands, altered envelopes. I love making specimen cards out of them. There's so many things you can do. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like and subscribe. My videos come out on Monday and Friday, and I can't wait to see you the next time.